Hey everyone, welcome to Q&A. So today, Teresa Nichols writes, I've worked in big companies for years. I'm thinking of starting my own company, but it's very intimidating. What do I need to know to do this? Okay, excellent question, Teresa. I love getting questions like this. I tend to think of it like this, okay? As far as I'm concerned, and what I've observed is that there's 3 levels of business challenges, okay? Level 1, 2, 3. And I'm not sure if this is in a textbook somewhere, but this is what I've observed based on being a business coach and management consultant and a mentor of startup founders for years. And on the first level, it's kind of the most basic level. These are people that, for their job, they receive a budget, okay, and they just spend the money. So this would be anybody in operations, supply chain, project management, government, where essentially what you do is you're given money and you have to spend it. And, on the one hand, any fool can spend money, and some people don't really do a good job here. On the other hand, I'm not making judgments about people. Some of these people have very, very significant technical challenges, and they're very capable people to be able to overcome them. But in terms of a business challenge, it's really not that much of a business challenge. So I find that these people in general, have a very poor or no understanding of marketing and sales. They develop a very distorted view of business because they're sort of sheltered from the revenue side of having to generate revenue, having to make money. And I feel I can talk here because I came up through operations. So I've put in the years, I've put in the time through operations, and I see the dangers of applying that mentality to other areas. So that's kind of the level 1, the basic level of business challenges. Level 2, this is where you get into more entrepreneurial type stuff. So this may describe the situation you're wanting to do. Level 2 is where you go into business, okay? So you're exposed to the reality of business, having to make money, but you're going into an established, known, traditional type business, okay? And the example I always use for this is a plumbing company, okay? Most people can understand that. So let's say you decide to start a plumbing company. Now, this is almost like doing a jigsaw puzzle where half the pieces have been done for you and you just have to do, fill in the rest, right? If you're starting up a plumbing company, there are a lot of challenges that have been solved for you. So for example, most people know what a plumber is, and they know what a plumber does, and they know why they would need a plumber, and they understand why they would have to pay for a plumber, and they even understand what some of the standard rates are to pay a plumber. Okay, so all that has already been established. Furthermore, if you start a plumbing company, there's an established market for it. There's a bunch of clients lined up that are hiring plumbers on a regular basis, and it's quite easy to discover those people and communicate with them. All the marketing channels have already been created to reach those people. So this is the situation you're walking into. A lot of those challenges have been solved for you. So people that operate on a level 2 business challenge level, they tend to focus more on operations. So if you're doing the plumbing company, you're going to be focused mainly on providing a plumbing service and maintaining a good quality service and being efficient so that you can keep your costs under control, so that you can make a profit. And you're going to be dealing with customer service. So that's where your focus is going to be. Another quick example is like anybody who does a franchise. Okay, so if you are, if you're starting like a McDonald's franchise or something, you could start your own restaurant, but instead you start a franchise. So you get to put up that sign that says McDonald's on it. And the moment you do that, when people see it, they immediately understand what that is. They understand what you sell. They understand why they need it. They understand, how much they're going to pay for it, and all the work in convincing them that they should buy your product is all been done for you. You're walking into that. So your focus is mainly going to be just operations, serving the customers and managing your employees and managing the accounting and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's a level 2 business challenge. You're still in business, you have to make money, but a lot of the pieces have been mapped out for you. It's almost like a paint by numbers way to do business to a degree. The third level, okay, the level 3 business challenge. This is what I would refer to as like the heavyweight championship of business challenges. These are the innovative companies. So anybody doing like a tech startup that's not simply doing a standard thing like writing yet another video game, but someone that's creating something new and different. Okay, this would be a level 3 business challenge. And this is where you're really, really going to need a lot of skills here, because there's no market established. People don't know what you're doing. They've never heard of you. They don't know what it is that you do. They don't know why they need it. They don't know why it's a good thing. They don't understand why they should pay for it. So you're going to have to address all of those. And that means that in addition to just focusing on operations, creating the thing, you're going to have to really, really have your stuff together when it comes to marketing. Okay, you're going to have to really be able to do the marketing side, because it's like a greenfield operation. Nothing's been done for you. You have to do every single piece from scratch. And a lot of companies that are in this situation, I don't know if this describes what you're trying to do, but a lot of companies that are in this situation, they basically have, well, I don't know if they have only 2 choices, but they have got 2 main choices. One is to educate the public, to be able to go to the public and say, like, look, this is what we do, this is how it works, this is why it's a good thing, this is why you need it, and this is why you should pay us to do it, and this is why we should do business together. Now, educating the public is really hard when you are a tiny startup with very limited resources, very limited money. Very tough to get this off the ground. An alternative is to go to, say, this tiny group of individuals that are the enthusiast market. Okay, people who get it. People who see your thing and they go, oh my God, I want that. I believe in that. I understand that. That's the future. I accept its limitations in its original form that you have here, but I want it. I'm going to pay you for it. So if you can discover who those individuals are, that enthusiast market, you may have some initial success in catering to them. The problem is that process of discovery and being able to discover those people and communicate with them. That is the challenge, okay? Because it's not an established market. So basically, this is what you're up against. And even companies that have initial success catering to the enthusiast market, once they try and scale up and they go from the enthusiast market to, say, the early adopters, okay, they still can't escape that reality that you essentially have to educate your customers, and you have to make them understand all those things, why they should do business with you. So very significant challenges, and it takes a real special skill set to be able to pull this off if you're undertaking a level 3 business challenge. And a lot of startups fall into that category, the innovative startups. That's kind of how I look at this, and I can't help but classify the people that I encounter in terms of their business skills into those 3 levels. And for example, if someone has been, in the sort of level 1 situation for their entire career, I find that they don't really understand level 3 challenges. They don't appreciate them. They don't understand what you're going to need to overcome those. So, and these are transportable skills, by the way. Like even if you failed in doing a level 3 type business venture, I find that those people have such an appreciation for business that they can easily transport those skills into a different industry or a different situation, because they just get it. They understand what's going to be involved, and they know a lot of tips. Okay, so what can you do? I've spent the whole time talking about, this kind of 3-level system. What can you do? Well, there are a lot of people that advocate that the way to learn entrepreneurship type stuff, if you want to start a company, is to jump in and do it. And I don't disagree with them. That's 100% true. You need to learn by doing, okay? However, I would like to add a caveat to that, and that is that if you have, say no business knowledge, you have no business training, you have no business experience in like a level 2 or level 3 situation, it's going to be tough. To me, it's like saying, okay, you need to do this open heart surgery on a patient, but you don't have a medical degree, right? If you're going to do it and you want it to be a success, probably the smart thing to do would be to get a medical degree first, or at least learn the material, of how to do that surgery. Don't just jump in thinking that it's going to be easy and that you can just figure it out as you go along. It's going to be tough. So what I would recommend is the following, okay? If you have no business training, you've never been to business school or anything like that, do this. Go online to the website of your favorite university or your local university or, the best universities in the world, and look at their MBA program. So MBA, Masters of Business Administration, okay? This is sort of the gold standard in how to run a business properly. Now, they usually have like 12 courses or something like that. Go and look at the courses and look at, say, the marketing course, okay? Look at what textbook they're using for that. Then go to Amazon or an online retailer of your choice and order that book. Okay, if they're using, say, like the 10th edition or something, if you can get the 9th or the 8th edition, usually you can get those for literally $5. Okay, like $5. You can get these textbooks. So order the marketing textbook and read it. Okay, then when you're there at the website for the university, at the MBA program, look at their entrepreneurship course. Usually there's one course in the program on entrepreneurship. It might be an optional course or it might be a fundamental course. But look at it, look at the textbook, order the textbook, read it. And then I would say do the same thing for the corporate finance course. There's usually one corporate finance course in an MBA program. Go get the textbook and read it. Okay, do those 3 textbooks. Okay, I'm not talking about getting like a book on marketing or whatever from the local bookstore. I'm talking about look at the university level textbook for an MBA program. Okay. Now marketing. If you are going to be an entrepreneur, you need to know marketing. Period. Don't take my word for this. I think almost every source will echo this. It's a no-brainer. Entrepreneurship. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you need to understand the fundamentals, the basics of entrepreneurship. Okay? I don't think a lot of people will give you an argument on that one. Now, is it the be-all, end-all? No, it's not. But at least you're starting with the fundamentals, and then on which you can build, you use your own creative ideas and stuff, but you're building on fundamentals. And for the corporate finance course, I think this is essential because it's going to teach you 3 things. It's going to teach you about money. And if you've never really learned about money, you're going to need to know it if you're going to be in business. Okay, so it'll teach you that. Number 2, it teaches you about risk. Okay, if you're an entrepreneur, you need to understand risk. You need to understand how you quantify it. You need to understand what type of decisions are risky and why, and what aren't. Okay, very important. And the third thing you're going to learn from it is you're going to learn how investors think. Okay? Now, even if you're not planning to aggressively pursue angel investors, you need to understand how investors think. There's a reason why they think that way and why they look for certain things. It's because those things tend to indicate that you're going to be successful. They tend to lead to success. So if you understand what those are and you understand the need for them and how they work, this is going to help you tremendously. Okay, so that's what I'd highly recommend. That's basically what I would say. Now, if you can't do this, okay, if this is too much trouble or it's, you're just not into it, to me that signals something. If you're going to want to go into business, which is taking on a considerable risk, but yet you can't be bothered to do even this, you might want to re-examine how committed and dedicated you are. I think everyone should do this. Give yourself the best chance of success. Why learn everything the hard way? In business, they have been studying what works and what doesn't work for hundreds of years. Now, why would you go out and make a very expensive mistake learning that same information the hard way when it's right there? It's right there in a book, and if you read the book and if you learn some of this material before you start, you are increasing your chances of success dramatically. So that's what I'd recommend. So hopefully that helps, Teresa and everyone else. I hope you found this somewhat useful. If you did, please subscribe, like, share, hit the bell button. If you didn't find it that useful, well, thank you for watching at least to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. Keep your questions coming. These are some great questions. I enjoy answering them. I know it's helping some people out there. Keep sending me them. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.